ZTN Sports Daily on a Monday. This is where you get the latest stories from the world of sport, and we have plenty coming your way. Today on the show, football fans in Fakose salute Kama Billiat despite Chiefs' failure to lift the league title. Young Dynamos defender Albert Manenji hails parents. We scour the trending, wacky and exciting sports stuff on the net. Djokovic to lose ranking points, prize money after US Open disqualification. My name is Lance Chiande and you are watching Sports Daily on ZTN. First up, we talk football. Now, Mamelodi Sundowns snatched the South African Premier Soccer League title on the final day as they beat Black Leopards 3-0, while long-time leaders Kaizer Chiefs drew 1-0 with Baroka. Sundowns were crowned champions for a third season in a row. Chiefs have gone 5 seasons without a trophy. It looked like Kama Billiat was going to be their hero, scoring in the first half, but Baroka equalized early in the second half and Chiefs couldn't respond. With Zimbabwean Warriors goalkeeper Elvis Chipezese doing well for Baroka, the points saw Baroka avoid the relegation playoffs. Chiefs had been 13 points clear at one stage, but they stuttered in the final games. Now, our reporter Brighton Jawi was in Mfakose on Saturday. This is the suburb where Kama Billiat grew up. Brighton followed up on the excitement generated by the final round of matches in the South African Premiership and the subsequent agony that followed after the games, with Kaizer Chiefs missing out on the championship title.
On my way to Mfakose, I came across football fans live streaming the Kaizer Chiefs and Baroka match in a welding workshop, and naturally their interest was Kama Billiat.
3-0.
I stopped at a popular car wash where I met Zimbabwe cricket player Victor Nyauchi, who played football at primary school against Billiat. Nyauchi was also keeping tabs on the Kaizer Chiefs match, and he said Billiat will always be a hero in his neighborhood, whether Chiefs win or lose.
Got the form at the right time, so we are. Right now we're watching the game. On the Friday of the week, I've wanted all business activity just to watch the game. So it's going to come.
In the days leading up to the final round of fixtures in the South African Premier League, spotlight was on Billiat because of his indifferent form in the 2019 and 2020 season. South African coach Mulungis Gubane even accused Billiat of age cheating as criticism on the Warriors star reached a crescendo. Despite Gubane's accusations, Billiat put on a superb display and scored the win against Chippa United in their penultimate match of the season, and also scored in the last match, although it ended in a draw and a subsequent miss on the title. For Mfakose people, all that mattered was that Billiat scored.
It's another season. They didn't get the trophy, but it can happen to everyone. Kama is a brilliant player. Let's not forget that.
Iwo South Africa vanongofana ngomfarirawo neplaying akatambola 2 games akatamba akagoesa kwete kuti vanoda kuita chiresist chokutaura kuti hanzi akachita makore awa series.
Is an exceptional player, besides talking about this season, last season or a season before. But as for this season, yes, it can be argued that he had a tough season.
Now over to some tennis. Novak Djokovic's sensational exit from the US Open on Sunday has ended the Grand Slam reign of the Big Three of men's tennis, while ensuring a first-time major champion at Flushing Meadows. With Roger Federer and Rafael Nadal skipping the tournament, Djokovic was hot favorite to claim an 18th Grand Slam title, but his disqualification for an inadvertently hit on a line judge with a ball has thrown the tournament wide open. Not since Stein Wawrinka's 2016 US Open triumph has a Grand Slam been won by someone other than the Big Three, winners of the last 13 major titles. Now, still on Djokovic, the world number 1 will be docked all ranking points earned at the US Open and fined $250,000 in prize money following his sensational disqualification from the tournament. A statement from the US Tennis Association detailed the immediate sanctions Djokovic faces after he was tossed out of the tournament during the 4th round. Djokovic's disqualification occurred following an incident near the end of the first set in his last 16 match with Spain's Pablo Carreno Busta. Now, world cricket is on the brink of an ugly showdown on that could make the game's global financial health, which is already bad because of the COVID-19 pandemic, become progressively worse. If the cracks that have developed between the cricket nations widen, the International Cricket Council has been left without a chairperson for over 2 months. Now, after Shashank Manaha stepped down and Pakistan Cricket Board chairperson Ehsan Mani gave an interview saying the cricket's new chair should not be from the sports big three nations, referring to India, England and Australia. These so-called big three are saying there will be a breakaway in global cricket administration if the present uncertainty continues. Let's now go to our newsroom and talk to cricket analyst Brighton Jawi, who has been keeping tabs on this story. Now, good to have you, Brighton. So it looks like global cricket is heading for an ugly showdown. What does this mean to Zimbabwe cricket? Are they affected either way?
Well, naturally for Zimbabwe, it's a cause for concern because you remember last year Zimbabwe was suspended. You know, coming off a new board, you never know their attitude towards Zimbabwe. Fortunately, the previous board was sort of tolerant towards Zimbabwe. They had a good relationship with Zimbabwe. Now, coming off a new leader from the big three, as this guy suggests, sort of is a cause for concern for Zimbabwe. And financially, they could be affected as well. Remember, they are getting 94 million over an 8-year period. And as a full member, these are the least paid full member. You never know as well how much they can change. But I don't think there will be a breakaway. Usually ICC and the big three always find each other. This sort of happened before, and I'm sure it will be resolved. But I understand the concerns of the Pakistan chairman. And obviously Pakistan and India, the relations, they are well documented. So they obviously could be concerned on whatever happens.
Now, International Olympic Committee Vice President John Cortez said Tokyo's postponed Olympics will go ahead next year regardless of the coronavirus pandemic, saying there would be the games that conquered COVID. The Olympics have never been cancelled outside of the world wars, and Cortez was adamant that the Tokyo Games will start on their revised date. In an historic decision, the 2020 Olympics were postponed because of the global march of the pandemic, and they are now set to open on the 23rd of July in 2021. Now in motorsport, Pierre Gasly secured a maiden Formula One triumph on Sunday when he won a tumultuous Italian Grand Prix for the AlphaTauri team after crashes, penalties and safety cars had tipped expectations upside down at Monza. It was the AlphaTauri's outfit's second win on Italian soil, the first having been scored for them when they raced as Toro Rosso by Sebastian Vettel, his maiden F1 win in a rain-hit race in 2008. Pole sitter Lewis Hamilton was on his way to a comfortable win before a 10-second stop-and-go penalty for taking a pit stop when the pit lane was closed pushed the Mercedes world champion to the back of the pack. The six-time champion eventually ended up in 7th place.
For everybody back home, it's just, stay safe, stay 6 feet apart, wash hands, do the regulars, everything that everyone's saying, and, just take it day by day. We're going to make it through. We've been through a whole lot worse as a country, and, we're just always strong. We've always been strong people, so we won't make it out of this one, just as we've made it out of a whole lot of other situations that we've been through. Yeah, everybody just stay positive and let's just keep the energy up.
You are watching Sports Daily here on ZTA. Now to start off our weird and wacky, Shaquille O'Neal and Charles Barkley both broke broomsticks after the Los Angeles Lakers beat the Portland Trail Blazers in their first round of the playoffs.
I hope that's not a medal you want. This is what you want? Oh, that's what we wanted. That's what we wanted, man. That's what we wanted. That's what you want, man. Hey, no hey. Hey, no hey. Can you do it? Bet 100,000 you can't do it. 100,000? 100,000. Get me a broom, y'all. Okay, 100 stacks. Get me a broom. 100 stacks. There happens to be one right there.
Here comes another broom. Hold on, we need to examine it.
Can we examine that broom? We don't need to examine it.
We need to examine it.
Come
on, Chuck. Let's go. Let's examine it.
Let's go.
Come on, man.
Go.
Got a hip, Chuck.
Come on, let's go.
Don't let me embarrass
my supple natural stuff. Oh, brother. All right.
Well, now who says that sports guys cannot have some fun in the studio? There's an example. Now, the future of boxing is bright, and people don't know the intensity that comes from it when you're training at a young age. Quick move, hit that, abuja. You know, you can do that. Now, the streets of Brazil never disappoint. There's always a kid with some mad football skills to show. A cheeky little finish there from the young lad. Now, when you get a call from your nation in sports to play for them, it's always an honor. As for Tupo Vai, his All Blacks call was memorable.
I'm speechless at the moment. To be able to, again, rub shoulders of Nippo and Carl is pretty amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, I got some good news this morning. Just want to let you guys know I'm in bed.
They're so emotional, but I think they're crying for the amount of money that is coming into the family. Now remember, you are watching Sports Daily here on ZTN. You can follow us on Twitter. We are at ZTN News. Our Facebook page is Zimpapers TV Network. On YouTube, we are ZTN. And lastly, you can check out more content on our website, www.ztn.co.zw. Still tuned in to Sports Daily on ZTN. Now, Albert Manenji is one of the most promising Dynamos players. The 20-year-old defender looked set to make his breakthrough this season, but coronavirus affected the domestic game. All is not yet lost. Albert still believes, and he pays tribute to his parents for supporting him all the way.
Yeah, of course, because of all the support that they gave me since the start of my career as a young child. I think to play for this club, and then for them, their reaction for me playing for this club, it is a big reaction, and I think they're happy for me that I've took another step in life to play for this great club, and I think they're very, very happy. But with this pandemic, you know, they're kind of sad, but you know, it is what it is again, and then we just wait for the season to start.
At 20, there is every reason to believe that the defender nicknamed Bolo can reach far, and the defender believes he will need to work hard to realize his dream.
Yeah, at a young age, we have so many expectations, like to play in a foreign country, to play for a different league. But I determine what happens in my career. It's whether I work hard for it or I don't. So if I work hard enough for it, I think I can see myself playing in one of the top leagues, maybe in South Africa, PSL, who knows, maybe in Sweden or even in England. Anything is possible if I just put in the work.
Now, at the beginning of the season, Dynamos also signed defenders such as Patson Jaure, Sylvester Apia, and Byron Madzogere. Young Emmanuel Jalai impressed last season, so how will Albert handle the competition?
Of course, these players, they have played for a long time in the PSL, maybe some of the players in Europe, some of them in South Africa, Zambia. I think, yeah, they can bring quality to us young players, especially for those who are still new to the PSL. They can guide us through the season and what are needed like to the situation of the game, what is needed for the particular game. I think they can guide us to the victory, whatever happens for the day.
Now, there has been a lot of talk that PSL could return to help the national team in getting a base to select from. It's not clear if most of the Zimbabwe foreign best players will be released to play for Zimbabwe. And in that case, Zimbabwe could end up depending on local based players. Albert says the failure for the league to start was a big disappointment.
Yeah, it is very disappointing because as an individual, as a team, I think we've worked so hard for the preseason. And we were looking forward for the season to start, and then suddenly the pandemic was there. So I think as an individual and as a team, I think it's a very disappointing thing for us to go back to square one again. We have to do all the hard work again, but unfortunately it is what it is. So we just have to suck it up.
Right. So what were Manenji's goals coming into the first team? Was it that he was ready to provide Dynamos with?
I think for myself, I have high expectation, I have ambition to do well during the season, to give all the best to the club, to do whatever I can to make the club happy and maybe to collect points for the team.
Well, that's all we had for today. Sports Daily is back again tomorrow for another rundown of what's happening in the sporting world. My name is Lance Jande, and remember to stay true to yourself in 2020. Thanks for watching.